I've got three charming men in front of me. Oh, what? That wiggled, that worked out well, that. Bursting into the studio, one of Britain's biggest and best bands ever. These remarkable rockers have sold millions of albums and toured the world, playing to legions of loyal fans. Please welcome the fantastic Phil Collins, the terrific Tony Banks, and the marvellous Mike Rutherford. It's only Genesis! All off the top of my head. So welcome along, guys. Big crowds outside. There was people here at 5:30 for you when I got here.
Goodness, I got nowhere to go.
Did you sign a few pictures? Do a few?
No, I told the bug off.
Do you do any selfies, Mikey?
Yep.
Do you like to do a quick selfie?
We're too nice, really.
Yeah. Now then, tell us. So last night you went to. So what was it last night? Was it a preview of this documentary that's going to be on the telly?
I'm not quite sure.
Tomorrow?
It was a screening, but
yeah.
Of a documentary that's on tomorrow night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I personally had not seen it. You know, I'd kind of seen a rough cut of it.
Okay, so the documentary tells the story of the band, reunites you three with Peter Gabriel and Steve Hackett for the first time since 1975. And it's on tomorrow night on BBC Two, Genesis, Together and Apart. So the first time you'd seen it properly, apart from the rough cut.
Me, yeah.
Yeah, what were your feelings when you saw it?
It was good, yeah.
Yeah, you're happy.
You know,
I
enjoyed watching
it. Was it fun?
You stayed for the whole show, yeah?
Yeah, I stayed for the whole show. You know, I got to meet the band afterwards. Yeah, there were some things that one would change, of course. You know, there always is. But these guys were involved more than I was.
Oh, don't blame us. No, we were involved, and we managed to get a little bit more closer to what we wanted. But there's still some things we don't like so much. But having said that, I think it comes across all right.
I think the justification for doing it is the whole point, actually. Not another bunch of old sort of facts. Is that people don't quite realise that from the one sort of early school band, you know, you had the Gabriel career, the Collins career, the Mechanic's career, Tony's career, the variety of music, and you put all those songs together.
Yes.
It's a different body of work, and it's quite a nice story, I think.
The footage from the early 60s is incredible of you guys. Like a
lot of hair.
A lot of hair. A lot more hair then than on some now.
Even me. Even me.
You had great hair then. You had a big, long, flowing thatch. Did you keep any of it?
It was the Charles Manson
look. You could have happily stuffed a pillow with all of your barnets together. I mean, there's a lot of hair going on. And so, who initially sort of approached you? Which one of you was sort of the most up for making this documentary, do you think?
Initially, they were talking about making one about the Lamb on Broadway, and I said to Eagle Rock, who produced it, and the BBC, look, I said, there's a nice story. I think more important to say, like I said, you know, this collective careers, you know.
Yes, and those careers are going to be reflected in Archive, which is the album, which is music from Genesis and music from each of your sort of solo work as well.
Including Pete and Steve.
Yeah, the balance on the album is probably closer to what we perhaps would have wanted the show to be, you know, where there's more of all the solo people, you know, because it's not everybody's featured quite as much as they should be, I suppose, in the thing. But, you know, having said
there's a lot of me, isn't there?
There's a lot of Phil. There's always a lot of Phil.
Is there too much?
A lot of Pete. There's too much Phil. There's always too much.
It's always the singers. Always the singers.
Singers, bloody singers.
Well, I don't want to go on too much about Phil, but Phil, tell us the story about the time. We've been chatting about this in the office this morning. Is there a story about the laugh? You mention it in the documentary about the Grandmaster Flash laugh in the message. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, while we were making the Mama album, while we were writing the Mama album, Hugh Padgham, who was doing the record with us, he came in with a copy of the message, and played it to us, and it was early days of rap, but there was a bit in it which appealed to us all, which was the
I've got it right here.
I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a
So that bit, you heard that?
Yeah, and we thought it was a great idea. Thought it was, you know, I mean, I know it sounds funny to say it, but you know, it was a laugh on the record. But so I started, it made a bit of an impression on me, so I started going around while, you know, in the bit that we were writing, which was Mama at the time, and threw it in, and it seemed to stick. You know, sometimes these ideas sort of go away after a bit, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're going to hear it now. We'll play Mama now. Is it tricky if you go sometimes with an idea towards a song and people are like, oh, okay, well, we'll see.
Yeah, well, when someone says we'll see, you know it ain't going to work.
Mike, Tony and Phil have just done that embarrassing thing that people do to drummers where I went, oh, I love that. Ba-ba. I mean, I've noticed you're not drumming on things. When I've chatted to drummers before,
oh, yeah.
Like, had a pen in the hand. Are you a drummer?
I do a bit, yeah.
A little bit like that. So the laughing there. Oh,
Oh, that wasn't really. That was a practice. That was a practice.
That was some coughing, actually.
Much the same.
We need to do a Heimlich manoeuvre. Is everything over there? We've got the laugh from the song. It is quite scary.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Were you saying that the kids are quite
At the
young?
sound check, our kids used to go there and he'd do the... They'd sort of say, "Go on, Phil, do the laugh," and he'd do it, and they'd run out screaming in the hall.
Well, I used to have a foot switch, which turned the up light, because I used to have an up light that was on the bottom of the face, which makes everybody look even uglier if I may jump in. But yeah, and I used to do that, and they used to run away. It was good fun.
Great for Halloween. Oh, there we go. We do it again. Oh, it's good.
People can sample it if you want. If you're at home, want to sample it.
We'll have that. Can we cut that up, please? We'll fire that in. If anyone, if there's an awkward moment later on with Professor,
It's got a bit some more phlegmy, hasn't it?
It's good early in the morning.
Right, we're back with Genesis. More chat with Genesis. We've got Johnny Marr playing live for us as well, and
Very
Professor Brian Cox coming in as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and atoms and Hadron Collider and all that jazz. I can.
Highly overstating it. That's a very, very long time ago. I did go to university for a year and then I left to do this business. But I came across my university notes about 10, 15 years ago, and it's written in a completely foreign language. I mean, I did not understand a word of what I'd written. It's all symbols, all this and that, So I think my scientific ears may be a bit behind.
What would you have been if the band hadn't have worked out? Did you want to be
out of work?
You wanted to be out of work. You were like,
I don't know really.
I have nothing else.
I enjoyed the science side, and I might have. Who knows? You just don't know the alternatives. You can only do one life, I suppose.
Professor Tony Banks.
That sounds good, doesn't it? Really?
It does sound good. There's still time.
Can give you a leg up.
Yeah, exactly. It could get you in there. Have you got honorary degrees and stuff, you guys, as well? There you go.
I went to drama school. Are you kidding?
Yeah. Well, if you get an honorary one, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I don't want to keep waiting for mine. Since I didn't finish my university career.
Well, I got one from University of Bolton, and I went there and I felt bad because everyone's getting their degrees and they worked for like 2 years.
I got an honorary degree. I'm a doctor of history.
Yes. So if there was an emergency on a plane and they said, "Is there a doctor on the plane?" Would you jump up, Phil, and go, "It's an honorary doctorate, but I am a doctor"?
Yeah, well, not officially. No.
Not officially.
You might be the one needing the doctor.
Becky says Genesis. Was that a threat? We had a live threat.
Just sort of,
We've got to get some publicity for the documentary tonight.
Right.
Not really.
Good, yeah.
It's on tomorrow night from 9. The documentary, by the way, is called Genesis Together and Apart. Becky has been on, says, such a superb band. My first ever concert was them at Earl's Court all those years ago.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first big gig at Earl's Court? Like, what was the gig for you guys where you thought, whoa, this is massive?
It's quite late.
Yeah.
78 was it?
So, yeah.
That was called. Yeah, Richard Havens.
Was it?
It all comes back, yeah.
It's all flowing back. Sarah, I was pregnant with my son Josh, and I actually had a craving for Phil Collins's music. Says Mrs. M. Along with the usual cravings of licorice and things like that. It was you that she needed, Phil.
And tuna.
And tuna and Phil. Right, then we'll get some travel.
You've got strong winds.
Very much. Lynn will be back with more travel in a while, half an hour. I'm a huge Janice fan. Who's Janice? Genesis fan, says Pauline Cornwall, but my sister Naomi is the biggest fan in the world. If they said hello to her, she'd be beside herself.
What's her name?
Naomi.
Naomi? Oh, Naomi. I'll be right over.
And then the laugh. That is quite scary.
Yeah, I'll be right over.
Jane from Barnoldswick is loving you. Emma is beside herself. I mean, there's lots of ladies getting in touch. Is that a thing? Are you used to female adoration?
That's a new thing for the last sort of 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
It's quite a recent thing.
Yes, there was very few female fans the first 10 years of our existence, but it sort of changed.
Why was that? Was it the...
Well, the music was kind of fairly intense, I mean...
Yeah, well,
some ladies liked it, but I think when we did sort of things like Follow You, Follow Me, we did get a bit more sort of universal.
So after Peter left, we got the girls. Yeah. Is that what you're saying?
And then Peter got the girls too,
Oh, it's fine, it's plenty to go around. Right, we'll have some music from Dewey. For now then, I noticed two things there. Phil, you were having a look at those drums there.
Oh, was there?
Yeah. Come forward to the mic. Tell us, give us your opinion on the drumming.
It's a big sound. I mean, it's like, yeah, it was a big sound. It's like it's so strange to sort of see you all playing here, but it sounds Like a record.
Have
Do I sound naive?
Have you used those sort of drums?
I haven't used it. Well,
do you want to go? Do you want to have a basher on
No,
there?
it's okay.
Oh, please.
Let's
At some point, please, Phil Collins, please do a bit of on the electric.
Maybe at some
Okay,
point.
awesome. Yeah, let's jam. It's so cool. Now then, the guitar that you're using now, Johnny, what is it for guitar enthusiasts everywhere?
It's
the one neck on there, not the four like Mike normally likes on his guitars. Is that right,
that's
Mike?
splitting image. That's not the real life.
Not the real life.
I like the sound of that. I fancy that.
No, you've not got your spitting image puppet because we chatted on the Sounds of the 80s guitar
It's owned
special.
by some guy in Dallas. Which started worrying me.
And it got turned into Jesus, didn't it? Your
It did.
spitting image puppet. Phil, have you got your one?
I got one.
Yeah, you got it. Where is it? It's quite spooky to have a spitting image.
Yeah. Well, it's in my little studio.
Is it?
It's in my little studio, yeah,
in the
where I
corner.
don't go very much. So it doesn't really matter.
Ever get a spitting image puppet made of you, Johnny? Would that be a thing?
wish,
That was you? Wait for the documentary on Saturday night. That's Ben Williams in Tewkesbury. So many texts this morning, thank you. My first Genesis concert was in Great Yarmouth in 1980. Beautiful part of the world. My last one was in Rome, 2007. Oh, that was nice. As you get more and more successful as a band, can you start to just choose really nice places to go and play? Is that how it works?
It's like that. You don't go to World Map, I kind of go, let's go to Rome. It isn't like that. It just...
Oh, really?
it's-
Like
yeah.
Barbados and Mauritius? You can't
not
just
yet.
do
They haven't made
that.
up one work in their way, no.
It's from Peter in Lowestoft, who says hi. Amazing band. My first proper gig was at Nebworth. I can't remember the year, but I remember the light show, says Graham in Colchester, which is beautiful. Right, more live music from Johnny Marr in just a moment. But first, let's welcome to the breakfast table a rather accomplished, analytical academic with real star quality. Not only is he a scientific sleuth, a Royal Society Research Fellow, a brilliant broadcaster and an amazing author, but also, could you have made this any longer? But also a former chart-topping superstar. Please welcome the multi-talented particle physicist, Professor Brian Cox. Hello. Well, we'll give you a fanfare as well. Are you ready?
You've shattered my illusion. I was hoping you'd written that.
No, it's
This is
really
wonderful. Compliments.
they give me these things to read out to you. So,
Well, I've got a Johnny Marr haircut. I copied it off you.
well, you never that with the ribs and the bouncing and stuff. But, you know, if you've got enough money, you're going to be able to do space travel as a holiday. I'm looking at you, Mike Rutherford. I don't know why. Do you fancy a holiday in space at some point,
Actually,
maybe?
I would go tomorrow.
Would you really?
Yeah,
Yes.
No second, once old Branson Richard gets it going.
Yeah, you're going to
Or
get...
further. I'd love to do it. I really would, yeah. Fascinates me.
Tony?
I'd like to say I wouldn't do it tomorrow. Actually. I'm not even good at an aeroplane.
No,
You
it
so
doesn't
kind of,
appeal
I think
at
it's
all.
probably not for me, but I like other people doing it. I'll watch.
Yeah. Phil? If there's an electronic drum kit... I'm sorry, I keep mentioning
You're
this
going on
drum
about
kit, don't I?
I've got a question. I mean,
Yeah.
do you really think that the Americans went to the moon?
Yes, we interviewed. There are two Apollo astronauts in the series, actually. Bill Anders, who took the Earthrise picture, the famous Christmas Eve 1968 picture of Earth rising over the moon. Talked to him and talked to Charlie Duke, who walked on the moon and left a photograph of his family on the moon. And there is no way that those astronauts didn't walk on the moon. Absolutely no way at all.
Are you not so sure, Phil?
You saw that
You
film,
look
didn't
sceptical.
Capricorn sort of film.
Oh, no, I saw the film, but I've always thought that the chances of, you know, I mean, with the technology that was available in 68, 69, you know.
It was the greatest human achievement. It was, you're right, the technology was
and-
almost
and-
not there.
And the race, you know,
When we did
between
it.
Russia and America. It was just like, you know.
You remember what Buzz Aldrin did when someone said that to him? He just punched them. He didn't even bother arguing. It's a very famous clip.
I'm glad you reacted so calmly then, Brian.
I'm a great fan.
Nothing personal.
I'm not going to have a fight with Genesis. This would be rock and roll,
please,
wouldn't it?
we'd get
You could join in as well.
We'd get so many headlines, please.
There's
I'll have a
three of them. I'm not.
Play those drums. Let you play them.
Can I just say, this is not a group opinion. This is going off.
Purely my opinion. I end up telling my kids, you know, you know, because they're being taught this at school, you
Yeah.
know, I say, no, I don't believe they went, you know.
Yeah,
So
right,
it's-
wow.
But no, I mean, it was just a question. I've got the